Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. We've all been conditioned to believe that we live in a society built on freedom. We work, we earn, we spend, and we're supposed to do this on our own terms, right? The reality is far more insidious. Beneath the glossy surface of financial independence, there's a silent machine working behind the scenes to keep you tethered, in financial servitude. The truth that no one wants to tell you is this: you are a slave to a system designed to control your wealth, and it's a system so deeply entrenched that most of us never even realize we're trapped in it. The illusion of ownership. Let's break this down, shall we? From the moment you earn your first dollar, the government steps in. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how much you strive to succeed. The system demands its share. Before you even see your money, it's gone. Income tax, sales tax, property tax, capital gains tax. Every single penny is chipped away, leaving just enough for you to keep grinding. You see, this system ensures that you never truly own your wealth. Every time you get paid, they take their cut, and you're left with just enough to stay in the race, but never get ahead. In the past, slavery was out in the open. It was brutal, visible, and explicit. But today, slavery has evolved. It's not about chains and whips. It's about paperwork, regulations, and taxes. You're allowed to earn, but only enough to stay on the treadmill. The more you work, the more they take. The more you spend, the more they take. The cycle never ends. The government acts as an invisible partner in every single transaction, controlling your wealth at every turn. It's not about giving you freedom, it's about maintaining control. You're trapped in a system that's designed to keep you working, consuming, and obeying. You work hard, and they collect their cut. It's a game, and you're not winning. The debt trap. But it doesn't stop at taxes. Oh no, the system doesn't just take your money. It ensures you can never escape the cycle. It's engineered to keep you in debt. How does it do this? By making it impossible to save. High taxes suck away your ability to build wealth. So what's your option? You rely on credit cards, mortgages, student loans, borrowing just to stay afloat. And who profits from this? The very institutions that work hand in hand with the government. The banks. The banks are your chains in this modern-day form of slavery. Take a moment to consider the Federal Reserve, a private banking cartel that controls the money supply. These entities inflate the currency, creating inflation that erodes the value of your savings. What's worse, these banks can create money out of thin air and then charge you interest on that money. You are a debtor. The money you earn is not your own. It's borrowed from the banks. And they've set it up so you're always in debt, constantly working harder just to keep up with the interest. You're stuck in a loop. Borrow, repay, borrow again. You're not free. You're shackled by debt. And the system benefits from this. It's not a mistake. It's by design. The banks, the government, and the elite are in a partnership that ensures you'll always be on the hook. The elite's escape hatch. Meanwhile, the ultra-wealthy? They're playing by a completely different set of rules. While you struggle with taxes, debt, and inflation, they're living in a different world altogether. The wealthy have figured out how to shield their money from the same system that's draining you dry. Offshore accounts, shell companies, and tax havens. They've found every loophole in the system, and they're using it to shield their wealth from taxation. But here's the kicker. The very politicians who preach about taxing the rich, many of them are hiding their own fortunes in offshore trusts and tax havens, just like the ultra-wealthy they claim to target. It's hypocrisy at its finest. The system isn't broken. In fact, it's working exactly as it was designed to work. The tax system isn't a flaw. It's a tool, a weapon used to keep the middle class compliant. The tax code is crafted to ensure that the elite continue to amass wealth, while the rest of us are stuck in a cycle of work, debt, and compliance. The game is rigged, and the players at the top know it. The rich get richer because they know how to use the system to their advantage. And the rest of us? We're just here to foot the bill, breaking free. Now, here's where things get interesting. You may be wondering, is there any way out? Can you escape this system that seems designed to keep you chained? The answer is yes, but it's not going to be easy. It requires defiance. It requires you to start thinking outside the box. You have to question everything you've been told about the system. The first step? Understand the system. You can't fight a system you don't understand. Start learning about tax loopholes, deductions, and the legal structures that the rich use. LLCs, trusts, offshore accounts. The system isn't as invincible as it appears. The wealthy have been using these strategies for years to reduce their own tax burdens, so why shouldn't you? Second, it's time to opt out of the traditional banking system. The banks are part of the problem. They're enslaving you with debt. Instead of relying on these institutions, look into alternatives. Cryptocurrencies, precious metals, even barter systems. These are ways to keep your wealth outside the control of the government and the banks. When you move your money away from their grasp, you're starting to break free. Third, stop relying on debt. It's time to live below your means. Cut back on unnecessary expenses and stop using credit cards to fund a lifestyle you can't afford. The more you borrow, the more the system controls you. Start building self-sufficiency. Doesn't have to be huge at first, but aim for a life where you're not dependent on the system to survive. Finally, support decentralized economies. Look for businesses that operate outside the system. Local trade networks, cash-based businesses, parallel economies that don't answer to the central authority. When you start supporting these systems, you're helping create a world where the government's control is weaker and your independence grows stronger. The choice is yours. Let's be clear. Financial freedom is not something that's handed to you. It's something you take. The tax system thrives on your ignorance and compliance. It thrives because most of us don't question it. The moment you wake up to the reality of financial slavery is the moment you start reclaiming your power. But you won't break free until you stop accepting the rules that were designed to keep you trapped. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep feeding the system? Are you going to keep working harder and harder just to watch it all slip through your fingers? Or are you ready to break the chains and take control of your financial future? The choice is yours. Take that first step toward true freedom today.